Story 1. I have a thyroid tumor, but at least my brain tumor hasn't returned. I haven't had any motorcycle accidents so far this year. My fiancé and I have our wedding venue planned and the guest list agreed upon, but we can't decide where or if we should have a honeymoon. We haven't decided if we want to get another dog. I want a Labrador Retriever, and she wants a Shiba Inu. My son is doing okay living on his own, so there's more good than bad. But the bad is looking pretty concerning. Story 2. It's just fine, you know? A little dark, a little gloomy, and always full of dead people. What can you do? Story 3. Trying to get out of my parents' house is hard enough. And with all this turmoil, I don't know how well I will be able to manage. Story 4. My life is perfect in almost every way, except for one issue. I have wonderful kids, a beautiful wife, and a career I am passionate about. We are financially comfortable and contribute about $1,000 a month to savings and retirement. The only problem is that I barely see my beautiful wife. Our work schedules conflict, and we only see each other one evening a week. As night shift workers, we don't even sleep in the same bed. That alone has made me miserable, despite everything else being perfect. Story 5. With the exception of 2 or 3 issues, it has been a steady decline since the fall of 2023, and 2025 has not been the turning point. Story 6. A breakup followed by being ghosted in a situationship left me feeling so depressed that I started taking antidepressants. There is still half of the year left for more chaos. Story 7. Honestly, it has been one of the best years of my life. I went to rehabilitation and have been sober for 109 days today. It has been excruciating mentally and emotionally, and I expect it will continue to be like that for a while. However, the pain is just a side effect of growth. I have more friends than I have ever had in my entire life, and I also have hope. Comes and goes and is easily startled or scared away, but it keeps coming back, which is unfamiliar and bizarre in a good way. Story 8. I miss pre-COVID life. The years 2018 and 2019 felt like the peak of my life. Everything since then feels like a strange fever dream. Story 9. Personally and professionally, I am doing much better than last year. I am nervous about the economy, though, with all the policy uncertainty. I'm not sure what I can do about it. So I just go about my life, kiss my husband, and hug my kids. Story 10. My mom was diagnosed with cancer. I've had 2 horrible episodes of norovirus, 1 large kidney stone, and I dislike my job. Story 11. Not good. I think this is the year that I will be separating from and divorcing my husband. Nothing is going right. Story 12. I am currently out of work and unable to find a job in my industry due to the hiring freeze affecting nearly all fields in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. When I began searching for temporary positions, all the help wanted signs from last year had disappeared. Fortunately, I have a supportive partner who has faced a similar situation. Instead of feeling like I am letting her down, I focus on her reassurance that everything will be okay. Story 13. I'm doing well so far. I suffered a serious heartbreak in 2024, and it was only around late January or early February that I started feeling hopeful. The past week has been the happiest I have felt in years. I'm shining. I've also stepped up my running. I'm running 5 to 10 kilometers almost as fast as I did in my 20s, and by the end of summer, I expect to be setting personal records. I've gained some muscle as well, and I'm dressing a bit more stylishly. An attractive stranger greeted me the other day on the trail, and I'm still feeling great about that. Work is going better. Last year was my first year in nursing, which is always the hardest. This year, I actually feel competent. I'm receiving plenty of positive feedback from patients, and I'm no longer constantly worried about losing my license due to miscounting medications. Life is good, but I'm increasingly concerned about my country and the individuals in power. Story 14. 2024 was the worst year of my life so far. 2025 is doing its best to surpass it, but it is too early to tell. If things continue going the way they have been, 2025 will become the new champion. Story 15. About the same, except now we have some unpredictable leaders in the country. I went to Arizona and saw a missile silo, my first roadrunner, and my first crested saguaro. I survived my first natural disaster, a big ice storm that knocked out power and closed roads. Now I need to arrange for a tree to be removed, fix or replace a shed, and replace a garage roof. I am about to lose 3 coworkers I was close to due to retirements. Some of them were actually my teachers, so it's kind of sad to see them go. I wish I could spend time with friends, but they are all busy working or can't afford to do anything because of their low-paying jobs. I may go horse camping at the end of the month with a group for the first time. I rode a horse yesterday that was a bit hard to get moving. I found a spot he liked, brushed him, and he brushed me back with his head. After some groundwork, he was pretty much able to do whatever I asked. Story 16. Steady. I have been working for Caterpillar for a little over a year now. I just need to finish up some resumes and apply for a couple of promotions. Hopefully, by the end of the year, things will be great. Story 17. The hardest part is trying not to worry about it. Luckily, mine was benign as well, but unfortunately, it had to be removed due to its location, so I had a craniotomy. I permanently lost my inner ear balance on one side, but overall, I have adjusted to that. I am now on Synthroid for my thyroid issues. It sounds like you might have a better situation, but even if your experience resembles mine, I started to feel normal again in less than a year. Story 18. I have already been sick 3 times this year, all of which happened within a 2.5-month span. I experienced my first migraine a few months ago. Health-wise, this year has had a rocky start, but I hope things improve from here on out. Generally, I am content and glad to still be on this earth, even if the world seems chaotic right now. Story 19. Enjoying life with my new partner, and a week into 2025, I found out I was pregnant. It has been changing our lives day by day. Definitely the most uplifting year I have experienced so far. Story 20. I received a misdemeanor in January, hired a lawyer in February, and had the case dismissed in March. However, shortly after resolving the misdemeanor, my cat went missing. I spent all of April searching for him without any success. Meanwhile, the Trump administration continues to make me feel disheartened. The year 2025 has been difficult. Story 21. So far, so good, I guess. I just finished my first semester back in college after dropping out nearly 8 years ago and completed it with all A's. I also recently passed the CompTIA Tech Plus certification exam and am now studying for the A Plus certification next. It may not sound like much, but I'm tired of working in my father's landscaping business and want to pursue my dream of working in the technology field. Don't get me wrong. I respect the job I do now, but it's not something I want to do for the rest of my life. I feel like I gave up on myself too fast for someone who isn't even 30 yet. Story 22. It's going well. I've lost a significant amount of weight, gained a lot of muscle, and have an amazing girlfriend. Life is good. Story 23. I have an interest in performing in the adult film industry. I am near Los Angeles. I told myself that if nothing happens by summer, I will hire agents. That would complete my 2025. Story 24. I haven't felt comfortable yet. Constant changes include moving jobs, moving houses, and changing leadership while trying to start a family. I'm ready for some routine. Story 25. Thank you for asking. It's surprising how strangers reach out, even virtually, while it seems like nobody else cares. Story 26. My personal life has been challenging. Honestly, it has been the worst year of my life in that regard. However, I am receiving therapy to address everything, and hopefully, I will emerge stronger than before. My professional life, on the other hand, has been amazing. It started off rough when my company was on the verge of collapse, but we managed to stabilize, and I received a significant promotion for my efforts in improving the situation. Story 27. I got laid off in March. I've been more relaxed and happier than ever because we have savings to support us during this time. Obviously, I want to return to work and earn money again, but I'm enjoying having control over my time for once. Story 28. It has its good and bad aspects. My family took a vacation to Mexico, but my aunt had a brain aneurysm and had to spend a couple of months in the hospital. Story 29. 2025 has been an exciting year so far, mostly in a positive way. Feels like January was just yesterday. I have been keeping busy learning new things and trying to absorb all the surprises the year brings my way. Story 30. Pretty good compared to other years. I got promoted and received a raise. Student loan debt has been removed from my credit report, so I no longer need to make payments. I received one large refund and am waiting on another one. I finally got car parts I've been waiting years for, and the price has gone down by several $100s. I received a generous gift from my sister, and it wasn't even my birthday. Story 31. Not the worst year of my life, nor the best. I mean, things have been pretty stable for me, and I am thankful for that. I also feel like I am making some progress on a personal level, which is gratifying to see. So, yes, it is much better than last year, which was characterized by survival mode and being reactive to what life sent my way. Story 32. I doubled my salary and finally started my credit rebuilding journey. I am seeing the results and hope to end this year with a home purchase. Story 33. I have been on 2 trips so far, and I am planning my wedding next month to my love. I received a $55,000 raise, and my fiancé got a new job that he is happier with. Unfortunately, my fiancé's uncle and my grandfather passed away, so I would say it's a mixed bag so far, but mostly good. I am feeling stress and anxiety about the state of the economy and the world as a whole, but I am attempting to compartmentalize and focus on the things I have control over. Story 34. It has been unfortunate. I have faced a series of challenges. In early January, my furnace died, and I had to buy a new one. The day after installation, the water heater failed. After fixing that, my wife and I decided to organize our space and spent $800 at IKEA on new cabinets for the basement. While moving a bookshelf, I discovered that the base was covered in mold and deteriorating. When I pulled up the carpet, I found the bottom plate was black and soaked. After tearing down part of the wall, I noticed the insulation was sopping wet. The framing in my basement was installed too tightly against the cinder block wall, which led to me removing a whole wall. This also revealed serious step cracks in my foundation and some blocks pushing inward. To make matters worse, my father-in-law passed away, and then my refrigerator broke down. Although I got it fixed, it failed again a week later, resulting in 2 losses of all our food. But enough about my troubles. How is your 2025? Story 35. I lost my fiancé, but I quadrupled my monthly income. I feel lonely, but it's easier to wipe away tears with financial stability. Story 36. I feel like I have been crumbling since March or April of 2022. I have just been so lonely, honestly, and I promise I'm not one of those people who complain about being lonely yet push everyone away. I am the opposite. I try to find friends who enjoy talking and having fun. I'm not a we need to spend money to have fun type. I prefer to walk around in parks downtown while talking and laughing, but nothing seems to work. However, I started a good job this year, and I work in the field I wanted. I work with people aged 38 to 71, and ironically, the doctor at my job is closer to my age than anyone else. They are nice, although the general manager got me ready to karate chop her at one point. It can be emotionally lonely because I am the same age as their kids and grandkids, leaving little room for out-of-work friends, which is how adults typically make friends. I just want people who enjoy being around each other. Story 37. Honestly, my feelings are mixed. I dated a challenging person for 3 months, and he significantly impacted my mental health during that time. Additionally, I am struggling to meet an important deadline in my professional life. I have not missed it yet, but we are getting close to the due date. On a positive note, I have prioritized fitness and health, and my results have been remarkable. I started bouldering twice a week and go to the gym for cardio and weight training 4 times a week, and my muscle growth is already quite noticeable. I feel strong and powerful. I also received a nice raise at work and have started painting again. Story 38. I've had a challenging start this year, initially struggling with intense alcohol withdrawals, which led me to damage my key fob in a moment of frustration. However, I've been sober since February and have returned to a job that is manageable. Soon, I will have a better schedule, and I am continuing my college education. I recently paid off my car repair debt, which turned out to be $1,000 more than I anticipated. I plan to use my earnings to pay off the remainder of my debt in the next few months. Overall, this year has been very productive for me, the most I have experienced in several years. Despite feeling quite stressed, I believe things are looking positive. Story 39. Chaotic. I think it's finally calming down, though. We have made 2 unexpected trips out of state this year, both with an infant and a preschooler. Story 40. My substance issues have gotten worse, and school has been difficult. However, I am back home and have been substance-free for almost 2 weeks. I am going on a Catholic retreat in a couple of weeks and hope this year will improve. Story 41. Devastating breakup at the same time as last year. I thought things were improving, but it turns out we wanted different things. It happens, but I'm shattered. Story 42. It has been great. I paid off my house, visited 3 new countries, and I have a 4th one planned for next month. I also started playing hockey again, so I am getting back in shape slowly. Story 43. Bills are rising while pay remains the same. It's only autumn, but it feels like winter. At least some days look amazing with cold mornings and hot afternoons. Story 44. Worst year of my life and also the best. Worst, I lost my childhood dog and my pet axolotl to cancer. Losing my dog was difficult because this was the first pet I ever attended euthanasia for. Axolotls typically do not get cancer, which was shocking, and now I have an empty aquarium taking up space in my house. My area lacks aquatic veterinarians, so we had to euthanize him at home with clove oil. I also have many powerful people questioning whether individuals like me are worthy of living, which has been challenging. Affording groceries has become slightly more difficult. Best. I got a job at a dispensary, and it is truly the best experience. About half of the staff is autistic or otherwise neurodivergent, so our communication styles are highly compatible, allowing us to work efficiently. I also do not work in a customer-facing department, which is even better. I stopped taking antidepressants, which I discovered were worsening my symptoms. Last year, I was hospitalized due to what initially seemed like a psychotic break. However, since quitting the medication, I have had no psychotic symptoms. The decline in my mental health was gradual, and I did not realize what was happening until my doctor put me back on them, leading to a strong emotional reaction for the first time in years. I learned that the medication had been causing my cognitive decline for an extended period. Since stopping them over a month ago, I have slowly begun to regain cognitive functions I never expected to recover. I can imagine new ideas again, experience emotions more fully, and think ahead enough to be productive in life. I have impulse control for the first time in years. Although I still cannot create new art unless I have a reference, I hope that ability will return to me. Story 45. I am concerned about losing my professional license due to addiction. This addiction developed in 2024 when I discovered that my wife cheated on me. I am unsure of what my life will look like after all of this. I am going from being a responsible, married, middle-aged man with 3 children and a salary of over $200,000 to a divorced individual struggling with addiction, unable to work in the only field I have ever known. Story 46. I blew my transmission and was forced to move to afford the repairs. I then quit my job of 16 years because I needed a change. Change was necessary, and this year has been better than the previous ones. Story 47. Life-changing experiences are making me realize how poor my mental and physical health has been. It has been very challenging to get here. Story 48. I went to Italy to attend Rome's birthday parade, and Pope Francis passed away on the morning everyone was gathering for it. Despite this, it was still a good trip, and I'm glad we didn't book a tour at the Vatican in advance since it was closed for memorial services. Story 49. Pleasantly surprising. I like both. I feel like I am finally piecing together some significant parts of my puzzle here. Story 50. 2025 has been the worst year of my life. I can honestly say that I wish I hadn't made it through 2024. Story 51. Alright, I have finally saved up to afford a Lexus ES 300h, and every time I find a nice one to check out at a dealership near me, someone has already bought it. This is just like the peak housing bubble when I would see a house at 9 a.m., and by the time I call my realtor at 9:10 a.m., the house has 50 bids on it and is sold to someone who paid $100,000 over the asking price. Like, chill out. Let me have my ES300H. Story 52. I quit smoking, started working out, distanced myself from my brother, and my mortgage decreased. It's a mixed bag, but overall not terrible. Story 53. I had a medical scare when my husband, who is 42 years old, was thought to have leukemia. Fortunately, that is not the case, and his bone marrow is functioning well based on the biopsy results. The issue is that he has a leak in his stomach, requiring regular endoscopies to cauterize the blood vessels that keep breaking and causing internal bleeding. He does not need another heart surgery and has not experienced ventricular tachycardia in a while, so he may be able to return to work soon. Medical bills are challenging, but at least he does not have cancer. I am trying to focus on the positive aspects to help myself stop crying. Story 54. Not terribly sad, not terribly happy. I'm right down the middle, searching for motivation. I need that boost to move the needle more into the happy side. I feel like I'm perpetually stuck in limbo. Story 55. I am about to leave the military. I am excited to go, but I am also nervous about how I will provide for my family. Story 56. I have experienced painful surgeries, and I have lost my mother, grandfather, and a close friend. My family doctor retired, and the new doctor is planning to change my vital medications just as I was reaching a satisfactory point after almost 7 years. There has also been significant family drama following my mother's death, making it necessary to limit contact with my sister. It has been a difficult time, but the only bright spot has been my girlfriend. Story 57. I was improving at my chosen sport when I got an interview, but then I broke my leg and did not get the job. Now I can't participate in my sport and feel stuck at home, wasting time. I am still applying for work, but I am more bored than ever and slowly losing the fitness I worked so hard to achieve. Story 58. I survived stage 3 aggressive breast cancer and was expected to live 2 years without treatment. I underwent a mastectomy and chemotherapy, and even though life as I knew it is over, 2025 is a blessing. Story 59. I have been disowned. I have no family. I am struggling to provide for myself, but I am trying to make the best of it. I am pleased, albeit a little anxious, about what is to come. Story 60. Great. I have been relaxing while off work, tinkering with my car, running the dog around, and visiting friends. My next contract starts in July, so it will be a fun summer of working with an awesome group of people for 4 to 5 months. Then I will return to my time off to do whatever I want. Bring it on. Story 61. I've already soiled my pants once and relapsed on my drug habit a few times, so you know it's totally rad. Story 62. It was absolutely great. Last year around this time, I tried to commit suicide. This year, I finally have friends, hobbies, and even a girlfriend. Story 63. Pretty exhausting, but in a way I expected. I have spent all of 2025 so far pregnant, so I am sore and tired, and none of my clothes fit. However, we are still excited to meet our son this August. Story 64. Impatient. Waiting for trips. Waiting for the end of Trump's presidency. Waiting for graduation. Waiting for certain television shows to be released. Story 65. I feel frustrated. I was fired from a job for my performance not meeting expectations and negatively impacting the team. However, up until this meeting, I had never received any performance review or formal feedback. I did not receive coaching, a performance improvement plan, or any write-up. In fact, I was specifically told by the CEO that if I wasn't getting feedback, I should just keep doing what I was doing. The only feedback I ever received was a casual conversation in the break room along the lines of, "That wasn't great. Do better next time, but it's fine." I got this job after being laid off from another position due to a reduction in force. In both jobs, I managed to earn over $90,000, and there is no way I will be able to find another position like that. I feel that I have no useful skills to speak of. I just got lucky. I have no idea what I am going to do. Every job posting I see in the same field depresses me, and I can't look for work without getting so angry I can't think straight. I feel like giving up. Story 66. Extremely difficult. Our house burned down on January 8th due to the Eaton fire. The political situation has worsened significantly. My partner was laid off in February, resulting in ongoing stress and grief from losing our home. I have never felt so exhausted, anxious, and depressed. I try to maintain a positive attitude, but it is challenging. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.